Hello and welcome to Higher Ground Gaming. Today we're going to play another game from our 1977 Red Sox replay, game number 28. It's been a minute since we've recorded a game from this playthrough. This is going to be game number 28. As you can see, the Red Sox are 18-9 record in first place by a half game over the Orioles, a game and a half ahead of Cleveland, and 2 ahead of the Yankees. They'll be playing the Seattle Mariners, expansion team from 1977, along with the Blue Jays, who are not very good, 10-25 record. Being an expansion team, they didn't get as good of players to start with as today's expansion teams or more recent expansion teams like the Rockies and the Diamondbacks. So it took them a little while to get good. But anyway, so the games have been played. This is from Friday, May 13th, 1977. The games have been played for the other teams. So the Red Sox, with a win, can go a game up on the Orioles. All right, so let's get this game underway. So Lee Tiant will be going for the Red Sox against Dick Pole for the Mariners. Game at the Kingdome. I think it was at the Kingdome then. I'm not sure if it hadn't been built yet, but I think it might have been. But anyway, let's get this game underway.
Welcome to the stadium for today's ball game.
Alright, play ball. Yep, so you can see in the bottom right-hand corner of the field, the game is at the Kingdome, so it was built. Kingdome, not much of a singles park for lefties or righties, but a very generous to lefties for home runs and about average for righties. Definitely above average for doubles and below average for triples. All right, as you can see, I haven't gotten the stadiums or anything loaded yet, so we're just going to continue where we left off. One day we'll get the stadiums and pictures loaded for the teams. I don't know if I have I think I do for 78 teams, so I got to see if I have the 77 MLB list there to upload there. But anyway, for the Red Sox, for the Mariners, Dick Pole, who was also pitched for the Red Sox, is on the hill for the Mariners. He was 7-12 in 1977 with a 5.15 earned average at 122 innings pitched. He allowed 127 hits, 57 walks, 51 strikeouts, and surrendered 16 long balls. The defense behind him is going to be Braun in left, Jones in center, Lopez in right. The infield left to right is Stein, Reynolds, Milborn, and Meyer. And behind the plate, Stinson. So the Red Sox lineup is going to be Rick Burleson, the shortstop, will lead it off, followed by Fred Lynn in center. Jim Rice is the DH, batting third. Batting cleanup, the captain, Kyle Yastrzemski. George the Boomer Stott batting fifth and playing first. Dwight Evans, the right fielder, will hit sixth. Denny Doyle's the second baseman, batting 7th. Butch Hobson at third hits 8th. And Bob Montgomery is catching today, batting 9th. Carlton Fisk with the day off, at least to start. All right, so Rick Burleson comes in, hitting .267 on the season with 5 runs batted in. Pohl looks in for the sign from Stinson, nods his head, kicks, and delivers. And it's going to be a catcher on the catcher card. And Stinson makes the catch just before it goes in the seats, and Burleson is retired. So that'll bring it Fred Lynn now. Fred Lynn comes in hitting .260 on the season with 18 homers. Actually, I'm sorry. This is Fred Lynn's first game of the season. That's what he hit for. He started the season on the DL. But for the season, he hit .260 with 18 homers, 76 runs batted. This is his first start and first game of the season. So Fred Lynn back from injury. Hopefully the Red Sox can continue and even extend their lead in first place with Lynn back in the lineup. All right, so Lynn with his first at-bat against Pohl. Pohl looks in for the sign. Here's the windup and the pitch. And Lynn will draw the walk. So Lynn reaches on his first at-bat AB of the season. That'll bring up Jim Rice. Jim Rice off to a good start, hitting .327, 10 homers, 28 runs batted in. Lynn being held on by Meyer at first. Here's the windup and the pitch to Jim Ed Rice. And he takes a call third strike on the fastball for out number 2. So that'll bring up the captain. See if he can keep the inning going. Yastrzemski hitting .283 with 5 homers, 23 runs batted in after a slow start to the season. And it's going to be on call number 3. And Yastrzemski will draw the walk. That'll move Lynn into scoring position, so the Red Sox get something going with first and second with 2 down. Scott with a chance to put the Red Sox on the board. Hitting .248 with 5 homers, 17 runs batted in. Runners get their leads. Here's the windup and the pitch to the boomer. And that's a ground ball to Stein at third. And he'll take it to the bag himself at third. And that'll do it for the Red Sox. So after 1/2, Boston nothing, Seattle coming up. Louis Tiant on the hill. Tiant comes in with a 3-1 record with a 3.75 earned run average, 36 innings pitched, 38 hits allowed, 13 walks, 19 strikeouts. And for the season, he was 12-8 with a 4.53 earned run average. So the defense behind Tiant is going to be Yastrzemski in left, Lynn in center, Evans in right. Red Sox back to their all-star outfield there. In the infield, left to right, Hobson, Burleson, Doyle, and Scott. And behind the plate, getting the start today, Montgomery. Montgomery below average range with an E4 rating and a +1 arm. Tiant +1 at holding runners on, too. All right, the lineup for the Seattle Mariners is going to be Collins at DH. Will lead it off. He'll be followed by Braun in left. Batting third, Lopez, the right fielder. Batting cleanup, Meyer, the first baseman. Stein, the third baseman. Hitting fifth, Stinson behind the plate, batting sixth. Jones, the center fielder, hitting seventh. Reynolds, the shortstop, eighth. And Milbourne, the second baseman, hitting ninth. So Collins comes in hitting .276 with a homer and 8 runs batted in for the last place Seattle Mariners. Hobson and Scott are in on the grass. Tiant in the windup, looks to the sky, kicks and delivers. And that's going to be a fly ball. And Doyle camps under it in short right field for out number 1. So that'll bring up Braun. Braun hitting just 137 with 4 runs batted in, 117 at bats. And Tiant, with his first strikeout, gets the struggling Braun for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down in the Seattle first. That'll bring up Lopez. Lopez hitting 258 with 3 homers, 12 runs batted in. Tiant looking for a 1-2-3 inning. And he'll get a called third strike, his second strikeout, and the Mariners go in order in the first, so after 1 full, no score. The Red Sox will send up Evans, Doyle, and Hobson. Here in the top of the second, Evans off to a great start, hitting .396, 9 homers, 29 ribbies. It's going to be off the pitcher card, column 4. And strike 3 swing for out number 1. It's the second strikeout for Pohl. He also has 2 walks. So Denny Doyle up to the plate now. Doyle hitting .307 with 11 runs batted in. Here's the pitch to the second baseman. And it's going to be a fly ball to left. And Braun is there and makes the catch for out number 2. So 2 gone in the Boston second. Hobson up to the plate now, hitting .262, 4 homers, 18 runs batted in. Here's the pitch. And that's also a fly ball to left. That Braun is there, and the Red Sox go in order in the top of the second. So after 1.5, it remains scoreless here in Seattle. Some scores from around the league. Toronto leads Minnesota 1-0. Kansas City beating Texas 6-4. Cleveland ahead of the White Sox 5-4. The Angels over the Yankees 1-0. Detroit and Milwaukee are scoreless. And Baltimore leads it 2-0 over Oakland. All right, it'll be Meyer, Stein, and Stinson, middle of the order for the Mariners here in the second. Meyer hitting .231 with 5 homers, 19 runs batted in. Off the 3 column. And that's going to be a pop-up to Scott here at first. He makes the catch for out number 1. So Stein up to the plate now, hitting .242 with a homer and 14 runs batted in. And it's a line drive to Doyle. He stabs it for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down in the Seattle second. Stinson up there now. Stinson off to a good start, hitting .366 with 2 homers, 10 runs batted in. One of the few Mariners that's doing well on the season, at least at the plate. And it's off the 4 column of Tiant. Stinson's going to get a hold of one. That's going to go over the head of Lynn. It's going to go to the wall. And Stinson will have himself a 2-out double. So Seattle with his first runner in scoring position. Rupert Jones with a chance to put the Mariners on top. Hitting .306 with 5 homers, 24 runs batted in. Stinson gets his lead. Tiant trying to keep him close. Fly ball to center. And Linwood glides under it and makes the catch. So after 2 full, it remains scoreless here at the Kingdome. So Montgomery getting a start today. He's had 2 at-bats on the season, 1 for 2 so far. For the season, he hit an even .300 with 2 homers, 7 runs batted in 40 at-bats. So with Fisk catching, Montgomery didn't have much playing time. So here's the windup and the pitch to Monty. And Monty's going to get a hold of one here. So Monty making the most of his start today. Hits a home run in his first at-bat to put the Red Sox on top 1-0. So Montgomery, only 40 at-bats on the season, makes the most of his first one, his first start, his third at-bat of the season, and hits a home run to put the Red Sox on top, his first of the season. All right, back to the top of the order, Burleson. Burleson 0 for 1 on the day. And it's going to be a fly ball to right. Lopez is there. Dives. And makes the catch. It's a nice play by Lopez for out number 1. So Fred Lynn walked his first time up. Pitch by Pohl. And he'll draw the walk again. Pohl being very careful with Lynn. So it'll be a Bryce. 0 for 1 on the day. Lynn being held on by Meyer. Here's the pitch to Rice. This time Rice is going to get a hold on. It's going to go over the head of Jones. Lynn's rounds third. 60% chance they're going to hold them. Rice is in there with a double, so Red Sox with 2 runners in scoring position. Yastrzemski with a chance to increase the Red Sox lead. As Stinson goes out and talks to Pohl, goes back behind the plate. Sets the target. Yaz walked his first time up, and he's going to be intentionally walked to load the bases. So the boomer, George Scott, with a bases loaded opportunity to see if he can make them pay. Perhaps that was the strategy, to put Yaz on and pitch to the boomer. And that's going to be a ground ball to short. This could be 2. And Scott beats it out as the run comes home. As Lynn comes in the back door to put the Red Sox on top 2-0. So nice hustle by the boomer. Still had some speed in those old legs. And manages to beat it out to put the Red Sox on top 2-0. So runners at the corners now for Evans. 0 for 1 on the day. Here's the pitch by Pohl. And it's a fly ball to center. Jones is there. And he'll make the catch on the can of corn. But the Red Sox plate 2 on the started off by the home run by Montgomery and the fielder's choice RBI ground out by George Scott. The Red Sox take a 2-0 lead going into the bottom of the third. So Tiant with a 2-run lead. Tiant with just 24 pitches in the first 2 innings. Reynolds to lead it off. Reynolds, Milbourne, and then top of the order. Shortstop kicks in. Tiant looks in for the sign. Here's the windup in the pitch. Ground ball to the Rooster. And score that 6-3 on the putout for out number 1. So that'll bring up Milbourne. Milbourne hitting .245 with a homer and 13 runs batted in. Off the 5 column, and then Tiant will get himself a strikeout. So let's take a look at Reynolds' stats. I did not go over them. So for the season, he hit .248 in 420 at-bats with 4 homers, 28 runs batted in. We'll take a look at his stats. And he comes up next time. All right, so 2 up and 2 down. Corners again are in for Collins. Collins 0 for 1 on the day. Here's the pitch by Louis. Fly ball to center. And that'll do it. For the Mariners, they go in order. So the outfield of Yastrzemski, Lynn, and Evans back together again after Lynn's injury. All excellent range and error fielders with good arms. All with a 1 rating for range. All right, Doyle up there now with to lead it off for the Red Sox here in the top of the 4th. Doyle 0 for 1 on the day. Here's the pitch. And another walk for Pohl. his 5th walk. Puts the leadoff runner on. So Pole already up to 61 pitches, and we're only in the 4th. Hobson up there now. Hobson 0 for 1. Doyle gets his lead. Meyer holding him on. And Hobson take a call 3rd strike for out number 1. So Monty, who homered in his first at bat today, steps to the box. He hit just 2 home runs on the season. He's already got 1. Here's the pitch to Monty. This time it's going to be a ground ball to second. Can they turn 2? And nope, hit too slowly as Doyle moves into scoring position with 2 out. Monty retired on the fielder's choice. So Burleson 0 for 2 on the day. Draws another walk. Wow. So in the actual game, Pole lasted only 2 innings. 2+ innings. It's gone a little further today, but at this rate, he won't go that much further. So Lynn with his chance now with runners on 1st and 2nd and 2 down. Here's a pitch by Pole. And it's going to be a fly ball to left. A little late on that one. And Braun will make the catch to retire the side. So no damage done with the walks. And after 3.5, it remains Boston 2 and Seattle nothing. So Braun 0 for 1. Steps into the box. And he'll draw the walk. First walk given up by El Tiante. He'll be held on by Scott. Lopez 0 for 1 up to the plate, representing the tying run. Potential tying run. And it's going to be a range check on Yastrzemski. That should be no problem at all, as he has no chance of missing or making an error. Oh, we get a rare play, though. This could be interesting. And Yastrzemski makes a great diving catch. And looks like they're going to double off Braun. They do. So Braun did not read that one well, as Yastrzemski did make a great diving catch, but he's able to get back up and rifle it back to first for the double play. So nice play by Yaz. Give him credit here with him assist on the play. So it'll empty the bases with 2 down now. Meyer up to the plate 0 for 1. Tiant very appreciative of that. And it's going to be a ground ball. Right to Tiant. Tiant flips it to Scott to end the inning. So after 4 full, it remains Boston 2 and Seattle Zippo. Alrighty, Rice doubled his last time up. We'll lead it off for the Red Sox here in the 5th. Pole back out on the hill up to 76 pitches as we start the 5th. Fly ball to right. Lopez is there and makes the catch for out number 1. Alright, Yastrzemski's walked twice so far. See if Pole decides to pitch to him this time. And he'll ground it to first for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down in the Red Sox 5th. Scott 0 for 2 with an RBI ground out his last time up. And he gets one in the wheelhouse here. And Scott's going to give this one a ride. Braun looks up. And that's all he can do is watch it as it's gone. So George Scott with a solo home run increases the Red Sox lead now 3-0. Let's see if Evans can get involved here. He's 0 for 2 so far. There is some action in the Seattle pen. Oh, and this one's going. This one's carrying. Can it be back-to-back? Oh, no. Just misses off the top of the wall. And Evans will have himself a double. So Evans just missed going back-to-back with Scott. But he'll have to settle for a double. All right, Doyle up to the plate now. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. Evans gets his lead. Paul looks in for the sign, looks at the runner. Here's the delivery. And that's going to be a base hit. They're waving Evans around. And Evans is going to be out. So a nice play by the right fielder Lopez to throw out Evans trying to score. It remains 3-0. All right, Stein to lead it off, 0 for 1. Tiant's allowed just 1 hit so far. And he'll walk his second batter. So Stinson has got the only Seattle hit so far, a double. Stein being held on by Scott. Here's the windup and the pitch. Oh, and he's going to sneak in a single past the dive of Scott. Stein will hold at second. And that'll bring up the potential tying run to the plate. Rupert Jones, 0 for 1 on the day. Runners on first and second. Nobody out. Montgomery goes up to talk to Tiant. Tiant nods his head. Montgomery goes back and sets the target. Here's the windup and the pitch, and this one gets in the wheelhouse. But Jones cannot pull the trigger. And Tiant gets a big strikeout. Now a double play can get him out of it. Reynolds is a potential double play candidate. Here's the windup and the pitch. And Tiant strikes him out swinging. So Tiant with back-to-back strikeouts after the first 2 runners reached. So 2 down now, and Tiant 1 out away of getting out of it with no damage. Fans on their feet here in the Kingdom, trying to encourage their team any way they can. Milborn 0 for 1 up to the plate now. Gets under it. Yastrzemski is there and has it for the out. So Seattle fails to score after getting the first 2 runners on, and it remains a 3-0 shutout for the Red Sox after 5 full. And that is going to be it for Dick Pole. Laxton's going to come in to pitch. Laxton with a 2-0 record on the season. So one of the bright spots in the Seattle pitching staff in the bullpen. 2-0 record with a 3.97 earned run average, 1 save. He's pitched 23 innings. Has allowed 32 hits, though. Walked 11, struck out 16, and has surrendered 4 home runs. So the lefty will start here against Hobson. Hobson 0 for 2 on the day. And Hobson with a big swing and a miss for out number 1. So Monty's 1 for 2 with a homer. Gets another one in the wheelhouse. Just misses this one. It looked like he got it off the end of the bat, and that's going to stay. Is it going to stay? Yes, it will stay in the yard. Jones with a nice leaping catch. Definitely robbed him extra bases. Not sure if that one would have gone out, but it was close. But no matter what, it's an long out for Monty. So Monty's having a good day at the plate there. Made a bid for his second home run. All right, so 2 down now for the Rooster. Burleson 0 for 2 with a walk. Pitch by Laxton. And another Seattle walk, so it doesn't matter who's in there. Pitching staff is going to walk whoever's up there. So Lynn 0 for 1 with a pair of walks and a run scored. Burleson being held on by Meyer. Here's the windup in the pitch. And Lynn will get his first base hit of the season, right up the middle. They'll hold Burleson at second, so the Red Sox with something going first and second with 2 down. Rice 1 for 3 with a double. Here's the pitch by Laxton. And Rice will take a called 3rd strike, and that'll do it for the Red Sox in the top of the 6th. So let's take a look at some of the scores here. Minnesota has jumped out on top of Toronto now, 8-1, after Toronto took an early lead. Kansas City leads Texas 9-8 now. The White Sox 4-0 lead. Trail at 8-4 to the Cleveland Indians. The Yankees have gone on top of the Angels 4-3. Detroit shutting out Milwaukee 3-0, and Baltimore beating Oakland 2-0. So top of the order, Collins up there to lead it off for the Mariners in the 6th. Tiant back out there. 66 pitches through 5 innings. Here's the pitch by Tiant. And it's going to be a fly ball to center. Lynn is under it. And we get another rare play here. And can Lynn hang on? Bobbles it. And grabs it with his bare hand for the out. So Lynn made that an adventure, but holds on for out number 1. So Braun 0 for 1 with a walk. And make that 0 for 1 with 2 walks, as Tiant issues his 3rd walk of the game. So lots of walks by both teams. So far, the Red Sox walks have not hurt them. So Lopez 0 for 2. Braun being held on by Scott. And that's a ground ball to short. Scoops it up over to second for 1. Back to first, not in time, as Lopez grounds into the fielder's choice. So 2 down now for Dan Meyer, who's 0 for 2. Lopez gets his lead. And that's going to be a base hit to right. Lopez will stop at second, not wanting to test the arm of Evans. Down by 3 also. So Seattle's got something going once again. Tying run will come to the plate. Potential tying run. Stein 0 for 1 with a walk. Tiant trying to get out of the jam and preserve the 3-0 Red Sox lead. Looks in for the sign, nods his head. Looks at the runner's kicks and delivers. Oh my goodness. And that's going to go over the head of Lynn. That was in the wheelhouse there, a little bit too much of the plate. Lopez will score. Lynn comes up throwing. And too late. So it'll be a 2-run double for Stein, and he closes the gap, a 3-2 lead now. There is some action stirring in the Red Sox pen. So Stinson, 2 for 2, can tie the game with a base hit here. Stinson already 2 for 2 on the day with a double. Looks like they're going to let him pitch to Stinson. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that's going to be a base hit. Stein will hold at third, so it'll put runners at the corners. Oof. I just don't trust the Red Sox pen, so we're going to let Tiant try to get out of it by himself. Rupert Jones, he's handled pretty well, 0 for 2. See if he can get him out of here. Either way, this is Tiant's last batter of the game. And that's a fly ball to left. Stremski is there and makes the catch. But Seattle scores 2 and narrows the gap to 1, 3-2 as we head to the 7th. Tiant's day likely done. Yastrzemski 0 for 1 with 2 walks on the day. Late Laxton back out there for his second inning of work. Here's the pitch to Yaz. And it's a range check on Meyer. Meyer with an average range of 3. He'll get to it. Flips to Meyer. Laxton takes the flip from Meyer, sorry. 3-1 on the putout for out number 1. So Scott hit a solo home run his last time up, 1 for 3 on the day. Here's the pitch. And Laxton being very careful with Scott. And Scott will draw the 1-out walk. So Scott representing an insurance run. Evans doubled his last time up, 1 for 3. Scott will be held on by Meyer. Here's the pitch to Dewey. And he takes a call, 3rd strike. So 2 down now. Let's see if Doyle can extend the inning. He's 1 for 2 with a walk. And Laxton gets him. Strikes him out to end the inning. So it remains a 1-run game as we head to the 7th inning stretch here at the Kingdom. Let's take a look at the trivia question. 3 players on the 1956 Cincinnati Reds hit 35 or more home runs. Name them. 1956 Cincinnati Reds. That's before my time. I don't think I know any of those guys. So lock in your answers if you know the answer to the trivia. Here it is. Frank Robinson, Wally Post, and Ted Kluszewski. Robinson with 38, Post with 36, and Kluszewski with 35. So Frank Robinson I probably could have gotten. But I forgot that he played with the Reds too. Anyway, so Frank Robinson I think was still, I don't know if he was still manager of the Indians back in 77. He might have been. I know he's in the mid-70s somewhere there. All right. So Tiant. Yeah, I'm going to let him start this inning. We'll see. Let him start the inning. There are relievers in the Red Sox pen starting, but he'll face, since it's the bottom of the order, we'll let him see if we can get through one more inning. So Reynolds 0 for 2 up to the plate now. That's going to be a fly ball to right. Evans is there. Ooh. And makes the catch for out number 1. So 1 down now. The number 9 hitter, Milbourne. Milbourne 0 for 2. Ground ball to Doyle. Over to first, 2 down. So 4-3 on the putout there. 2 up and 2 down in the Seattle 7th. Collins 0 for 3 up to the plate now, top of the order. Ground ball back to the mound. Tiant flips it to Scott for out number 3. So quiet inning for the Mariners in the 7th. So we head to the 8th for the Red Sox holding on to a 1-run lead. And it looks like Laxton is still out there. Seattle's going to guard the lines. Hobson 0 for 3 on the day. And it's a liner to Reynolds at short. Makes the catch for out number 1. So Montgomery 1 for 3 on the day with a homer. And grounds it to third. Stein up with it. And retires Monty for out number 2. So that'll be Burleson, who's 0 for 2 with a pair of walks. That's a ground ball back to Laxton. Flips it to Meyer. And the Red Sox go quietly in the top of the 8th. I think that is going to be... Oh, boy. Yeah, that's going to be it for Tiant. He's up to 101. Nah, I'm going to let him... I'm going to take it batter by batter. I just don't trust my bullpen. So, Braun... Let's see, who do we have in the bullpen? Let's just take a look anyway. I know, definitely I don't trust my 78 bullpen. 77, maybe a little bit better, but not by much. But let's take a look anyway. So we have... Who do we have available here? We have Stanley. Ooch. Looks like he's got a little line next to him, so I don't know how rested he is. Willoughby. I think Willoughby might have pitched in the actual game. Yeah, I think he did. I think he got the win. Campbell. They're all good against lefties. Braun is a lefty, right? Is he? Yeah, he's a lefty. What do we got? Lefty, righty, lefty. Oh. I might hold on. I'm just going to hold on to another batter. Let's see. So Braun 0 for 1 with a pair of walks. Tiant looks in for the sign from Montgomery as the windup in the pitch. Fly ball to center. Lynn is there and makes the catch for out number 1. Lopez 0 for 3 with a run scored. Line to Doyle for out number 2. Alright, so Tiant 1 out away from getting 8 complete innings. Meyer 1 for 3 with a run scored. That's going to be a base hit. And I think that is going to be it now. Yep, Stein doubled off. Hit Tiant pretty hard his last time up, so. Alrighty, so who are we going to bring in? I think Willoughby did pitch in the actual, yeah, so we're going to bring in Willoughby. Hold on. Yeah, Tiant actually only pitched 2/3 of the inning, and Willoughby pitched 7 scoreless innings to get the win. Tiant let up 5 runs in those 2/3 of innings, so Tiant didn't pitch much better in this game. But, alright, we're going to bring in Willoughby. See if he can get the hold here. Alright, so Willoughby on the season's 2-0 with a 3.09 earned average, 12 innings pitched, 12 hits allowed, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. Let's see if he can get the 1 out here and preserve the lead. Meyer being held on by Scott, representing the potential tying run. So Willoughby looks in for the sign from Montgomery. Here's the windup in the pitch, and looks like they're going to... Meyer watches Willoughby carefully. Stretches his lead. Here's the pitch. Oh, and this one gets away. And Willoughby hits him, so not good. Hits the first batter he faces. So Stinson's been dangerous today. 3 for 3 with a double. Willoughby's got to bear down now with the potential tying and go-ahead runs on base. Stimson, Red Sox are not being able to retire him today. 3 for 3 with a double. See if Willoughby can retire him. Oh, just barely. Gets a 12 split row. 1-11 would have been a base hit, which would have probably tied the game, but Scott makes the play, trots to the bag, and preserves the 1-run lead as we head to the top of the 9th. So Lynn 1 for 2 with a run scored. Laxton in there again to start the inning. Lynn's also walked twice, and he's walked 3 times, so a big insurance run at first. I don't think we're going to try to steal with Lynn yet. Rice 1 for 4 with a double. And Rice gets one in the wheelhouse. That's going to be a base hit to right. Lynn will hold at second. So first and second. Yastrzemski up to the plate now. Some big insurance runs on base. Yaz 0 for 2 with a pair of walks. See if they let Laxton pitch to him. And nope. It's like, oh, the righty Romo is going to come in. 0-1 with a 3.91 earned average, 1 save, 25 innings pitched, 27 hits allowed, 7 walks, 26 strikeouts, and has surrendered 3 home runs. Let's see if Yaz can add to that Red Sox lead. Looks like Campbell is loosening up in the Red Sox pen. Oh, and that's going to be a ground ball to Meyer. Second for one, back to first. They turn the double play as Lynn moves to third. So Yaz unable to get the job done. Scott 1 for 3 with a home run. Let's see if he can get a base hit and add to that Red Sox lead. Oh, it's in the 4 column. That's a good column. However, that's not the roll you want. As Jones has it and makes the catch. And the Red Sox aren't able to add to their leads. So the Red Sox with the slimmest of leads, 3-2. As I think it's going to be, let's take a look at it and see how he's done. Bill Campbell is their closer. Yep, he'll come in. Campbell, very good against lefties, and we got lefty, and switch hitter, yeah. So let's bring Campbell in. All right, so Willoughby gets the hole. So Campbell trying to save it for the Red Sox, and so they can go up to a game lead in first place. So he'll face Jones, Reynolds, and Milbourne. Rupert Jones 0 for 3. Campbell looks in for the sign. Here's the windup in the pitch. And a good way to start off, a called third strike. So Campbell with a 1.80 ERA coming in now, 1.77. He's pitched 20 innings, allowed 11 hits, 7 walks, and now 13 strikeouts, and has surrendered just 1 home run. 31 saves on the actual season. 6 saves so far. All right, Reynolds up 0 for 3 on the day so far. And he'll be pinch hit for Baez is going to pinch hit for him. So Baez, 281 average, 6 runs batted and 96 at-bats. Campbell looks in for the sign from Monty as the windup in the pitch. And it's a ground ball back to the box. Campbell handles it, flips it to Scott for out number 2. So Milbourne 0 for 3. Let's see if he hits for himself. Nope, he'll be replaced. Stanton is going to come in to pinch hit. 264 with 5 runs batted and 53 at-bats. He did hit 27 home runs in the actual season. So Campbell looks in for the sign. Got to be careful with Stanton. He does have power. Here's the windup in the pitch. Gets one in the wheelhouse. And that's going to be a base hit to Yastrzemski. So the tying run is on board. And that'll bring up Collins. He's 0 for 4 on the day. Scott holding on. Stanton at first. And Collins will be called back. So is that Ted Cox? No, Larry Cox. So Larry Cox, he's been hot so far to start the season. In 18 at-bats, he's hitting .444 with 2 runs batted in. Stanton still at first. Scott holding him on. The righty steps in the batter's box. Campbell looks in for the sign. Here's the windup in the pitch. Oh. That's going to be a base hit up the middle. Red Sox don't have anybody going in the pen, first and second. Braun is 0 for 2 with 2 walks. Does Seattle have anybody else on the bench? I don't think they do, but we'll see. Looks like they do. Looks like Skip Jutes is going to come in, so Seattle unloading their bench. Might as well. They know the scouting report on Campbell is much better against lefties than righties. So Skip Jutes up there, hitting just .067 and 15 at-bats with 1 run batted in. Campbell needs to bear down now. Here's the windup and the pitch. Draws the walk, and that's going to load the bases. So Red Sox relievers, as always, making things interesting. Oh my God. All right, let's take a look in the pen here. Oh boy. I just don't know. Yeah, Stanley's been overused. And Stanley, I don't really trust Stanley. Campbell's not proven true to me much better, though. But we're going to let Campbell, he's made this mess. Let's see if he can get out of it. So fans on their feet here at the Kingdom. Lopez 0 for 4 with a run scored. Let's see if Campbell can get out of it. We want anything except the 1 in the 4 column. And it's the 1 column. Oh, that's not good. Ah. Over the head of Lynn. And Seattle with a walk-off win as they swarm Lopez. And the Mariners come back and win it 4-3. So the Red Sox pen, Campbell cannot get the job done. The Red Sox blow a 3-0 lead and lose it in the bottom of the 9th, 4-3. Ouch. To the expansion Mariners. Oh, that one hurt. Yep, that felt like the 1978 series year that I played, where they had quite a few losses like this. But this one definitely is probably the worst loss so far of the season. As the expansion Mariners walk it off 4-3. Campbell takes the loss. I figured Campbell made the mess. Might as well let him try to get out of it himself, but does not. He had been pretty good. He had an ERA of less than 2 coming into the game, but just didn't have his best stuff. And Seattle definitely outmanaged the Red Sox with all those pinch hitters. They knew the scouting report on Stanley that he was better against lefties, and so they loaded him with righties, and even the lefties, though, in the end, got to him. All right, so let's take a look at the box score. Dick Pohl goes 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned. 6 walks, 3 strikeouts. Laxton keeps the Seattle in it. 3 innings pitched, just 2 hits, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. Didn't allow any runs. Romo gets the win, 1-1. This pitch is a scoreless inning. Perfect inning there. No hits. And Tiant, unfortunately, deserved better than this. Doesn't get a decision. 7 2/3, allowed 6 hits. Perhaps I should have let Tiant try to pitch a complete game. I don't know. 7 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. Jim Willoughby, or even let Jim Willoughby. Maybe I should have let Jim Willoughby finish it. But you have a closer for a reason, so I figured I'd go with the closer. But Willoughby pitches just a third of an inning. Campbell takes the loss, 0-1, blown save, his second of the season. So it's not the first time he's done it. Pitches 2/3 of an inning. 3 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Yep. All right, so for the Mariners, the hitting stars, Stein was 1 for 2 with a couple of runs batted in. Stinson was 3 for 4. Yeah, not much there. Lopez, probably the star of the game, 1 for 5 with that 2-run game-winning hit in the bottom of the 9th. George Scott was 1 for 4 with a home run and 2 runs batted in. Monty, 1 for 4 with a solo home run. Just missed the second one. Jim Rice had a pair of hits. But the Red Sox fall to the Mariners 4-3 and now are a half game out of first place behind Baltimore. All right, we'll be back for tomorrow's game number 29, to see if the Red Sox can get back on the winning ways and get back in the first place. So thank you for joining me. It's been Eric from Higher Ground Gaming. If you liked the video, enjoyed the video, give us a like, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so you know when we upload more content. So as it gets closer to the summer, we'll probably start doing more videos. We've been kind of taking a little break so far, just doing a video every now and then. But as it gets closer, we've been busy with school and everything, but as it gets closer to the summer, we'll probably do a little bit more recording. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Take care and God bless. Bye for now.